Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's Friday with Fiona, and today I'm going to be using the meant to be dies, particularly these hexagons, but I'm also using the bee and the wings, etc. But I didn't get the stamp set that went with this because I already had the Be My Valentine. So I'm going to show you how you can mix and match. And for my sentiments, I want some birthday cards, so I'm just using the Simply Said. Okay, so I've got a couple of fun folds and one just cute card. So starting with the fun fold, one fun fold, it goes semi-flat post and it fits into a regular envelope, like so. In fact, to make sure I haven't put my bees too far. Yeah, you need to be careful with your wings. I need to have turned that around a bit because those wings are actually going to be creased. But it just stands like that with a bit of a curve to it, and you've got a window aperture. So, and I'm using one of the new in colours. It's Darling Duckling. So it is a yellow, but it has kind of a bit of green in it. Now, measurement wise, okay, I'm going to have to tell you as I go. I thought I had my tutorial up here, but guess what? I haven't. I've cut everything to try and save a bit of time. So the first piece of card you want is 18.6 by 14.8 centimeters, and then you're going to score it at 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and then turn it round and do 2 and 4. Alternatively, it's 2, 4, 14.5 and 16.5 centimeters. And then you're going to take your bone folder, you're going to fold the first one in, so that's a mountain fold, and then that's a valley fold. Okay, just give it a nice crease. Before I did my scoring, and then I lined up my hexagon, and the one that I use, let me just get the hexagons out so I can show you really good. That's too big, would have gone off the card. That one is also too big, but I think that is the one I got from the old olive. Yeah, that's the one I used for the old olive outline. So basically it cuts an outline and it cuts a full hexagon, so they're really cool. So I used the second largest to cut my hexagon actually out, and then this is going to go around the edge to just be a frame. Okay, but I am absolutely loving these hexagons. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to take my Be My Valentine, and I want to use these honeycomb stamp, and I'm going to take my Darling Duckling ink, and I'm going to avoid the folded bits back, and I'm just going to randomly stamp my honeycomb. And we go off the edge here. And here. And then down the bottom. That'll do. So So that's Darling Duckling on Darling Duckling cardstock. So that's a new pad, it's really stiff. So let me just quickly, and so I've avoided the sides. Okay. Right, and then the second piece of card that you want, which is going to be your back, is 10.7 by 14.8. And before I glue this to it, so you're going to glue it down there and you get the fold, I'm going to put my designer series paper on. So this is from the Meant to Be scrapbooking kit, in which you get not only designer series paper but also some two-tone cardstock, and then it gives you full instructions on how to do memory keeping pages, which I will do, but at the moment I'm just using it as the designer series paper. So I've got a bit here that's old olive plaids, and that is 10.2 by 14.3, and that's going to go on my back there. I'm just going to use some seal for speed. Okay, I'll put that onto my Darling Duckling. It's got a bit of frame around it. Okay, and then I cut 2 strips. So on my first one, when you put the top bit down, you can still see the sides. So I don't particularly like that. So I actually cut some strips that I can put on the inside of here. Okay. And these are, I'll just put this one on and then I'll measure it for you. So this bit here is 2 centimeters wide. And I've done it so there's a little bit of a frame. I need to put my glasses on actually. Yep, so it's 1.7 by 14.3. Okay, so that's the one there, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. And again, just on a little bit of a frame. There we go. Okay, so now fold these in, and I'm actually going to use wet glue for this because I want to make sure that it sticks. So I'm going to do one side at a time, and I'm going to put my glue on here. Line that up. Hold it down. I'm just going to make sure that it's perfectly lined up. There we go. And then the same thing, and that's when you get your little curve in the card, like so. And then it goes down to send. Okay, so do the same thing on this side. Just lining up the edges. It's a little bit more tricky getting this one. There you go. I just think it looks a bit better to have the plaid showing rather than the timid tiger. Okay, so now we're going to decorate. And I've got my bits and pieces here. So I've already with the dies. So I've got not timid tiger. I keep wanting to say timid tiger. Darling duckling card, and then I just stamped the stripes in Secret Sea, and I did that ahead of time because I wanted to die cut everything just to save time. And then I die cut using the smaller bee, and then I die cut the antennae and the smaller wings. Okay, so that is what I've got here. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on here. Okay. Like so. And then the same on this one. Now on my first one I used the punch, which you can still get, it's still available. However, with my RA I find punch is really difficult, so I decided to go ahead and use it. Now what I need is, you've got little faces, so I need to stamp little faces. Let's do this one. Where's my little, there it is. I need my Secret Sea. This is my go-to now for when instead of black, I just love it. So I'm going to do the little faces. And then we can pop the antennae on. There we go. And I need to stamp my sentiment. Gosh, did you see that? I just swiped my stamp case through the ink. Not very clever. End up getting it everywhere. Right, I'm just going to put the face away. Okay, and stamp my sentiment, which I said I was doing. I need birthday cards, so I'm doing lots of happy birthdays. And I'm doing that onto white, basic white. There we go. Excellent. And then I'm just going to pop that onto old olive layer and straight onto. I'm going to need to trim it. And then I'm just going to trim that. Oh, I haven't done the antennae. Nearly lost them. Antennae, I don't know, plural. So I'm just going to trim this. There we go. No, I was going to trim that, but I'm not going to risk it because it'll start getting uneven. So that's going to go across the bottom. And then I want to just pop. This one. Two. There we go. Right, then I'm going to put one here and I'm going to put one over there. So I'm just going to pop a dimensional. That can go there. And then this one is going to go up there. So it needs to be here. There we go. Okay, and there's the first card. So the one that I did originally, I stamped from the Be My Valentine onto vellum, but I realised we don't carry the vellum anymore. So they're stamped. And then these ones are using the die cuts. So there's the two for comparison. And this, using the die cut, it is smaller than that one. But they're just a bit of fun. Oh, that's coming off. Let's get that down before it's... There we go. So that's card number one. Okay. Right, card number two is just a regular... It's a Secret C card base. So it's half A4. So it's 21 by 14.8, scored in half at 10.5. And I've just popped some card that's 8.5 by 12.5 or 12.8 in there. Oh, I've just realised I've missed something on here. Oh dear. Okay, let's get this back. This has got to go on. So I think I can get them in. Might need to take that bottom one off. Right, going back to card number one. To get the dimensionals off, you just roll them and they come off. So this one, I just need to pop some glue, very thin layer of glue on all four sides. So it's going to go under there, like so. And then I need a dimensional to pop him back on. There we go. Now it's finished. Moving on to card number two. So, and this is the designer series paper, and I've used both sides. Oh, I thought they were the same, but they're not. That's the honeycomb one I used originally on card one, and that's Think Pool Party. So pretty. And then I've got an actual the inside part of the hexagon, and I have a white bit that is smaller. I've got glue all over my hands now. So it's going to go in there. And then I have the secret C that is going to go around there. And I have my card base. And my bits and pieces. And I haven't got a strip. I threw that strip away because I didn't think I needed it. How silly is that? There we go, got it back. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to layer my, so it's 7.5 by 10. And that is 7.5 by 10. So 7.5 is 15. So I'm going to actually join them up, and then I'm going to cover the join with the secret C piece of card. So I want them to actually be 14.3. That should do it. There we go. And then I'm going to pop this across the top to hide the join. Get my paper snips and just trim that off. And that's my piece to go on the inside. So let's put that in there first. Okay, and now I'm going to layer this one. Okay, so that's my card base. And then I'm going to layer these together and stamp my sentiment. So I thought this one was running out, but since we've had the hot weather and it's really liquidized it again, it seems to be going on forever, this bottle. It's fine. And then the same thing with the outline, just very, very thin glue around the edges. I mean, if if I'd remembered, I could have done adhesive sheets. It's just that you use a lot of the adhesive sheets just to get it around the edge. Okay. So I'm going to stamp happy birthday, but I'm going to do it split because it's not big enough to have to do it across the middle. So I'm going to do the birthday first. Let me just make sure it's clean. And the great thing about these Stampin' Up markers, they were re-released last year or the year before, I can't remember. But you can use them on photopolymer, which you didn't used to be able to. So birthday. And clean that. And I just need to make sure it's dry before I do the happy. There we go. Happy birthday. It's only £16. It's a really good. You've got all the basic sentiments. Let's celebrate, thinking of you, thank you, happy birthday, birthday wishes, just a note, hello. That's great. Really good stamp set. Simply said. Okay, here we go. And then I need my B. And this time, what I did was I took Pool Party cardstock. I took my die and die cut it. And then I took a very thin, one of the journaling pens, one of the new journaling pens, which are very thin. And I just traced round. And then that left those marks. So you can see the antennae. Pretty cool. Okay, and then the same thing, I'm going to stamp that. So I'm going to show you how to do this because I've left one free. I'll take the now these are bigger. I think they're bigger because they're the dart from the dies, not from the punch. Now the way I did it to try and line it up. Actually, I thought I'd done one already, but so I've got plenty of ink on there. Which is the right way up, doesn't really matter. And I'm going to lay my cardstock down, give it a good rub. And there you go. And then if they haven't come quite to the end, you can just use your right marker, but I've left them, so that's fine. And then I just die cut some petunia pop flowers to match this cardstock, and the hexagon is petunia pop. Whoa, I haven't got enough room. Let's not go there. Okay, so I'm going to pop him together. And I need to do my eyes again. I don't know why I've got spare antennae, but I have. then I just need, I'm going for these eyes this time. There we go. So I'm going to pop him on flat. Well, it's your turn. You can put that one on flat and then raise him up, which I might do actually. Let's see what that looks like and we can compare it. And then I'm going to use glue dots for the flowers because it raises them a little, but not as much as dimensionals. So I want 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3. One over there. One over there. And oh, I've left that one behind. There. And then I had my gems. Yes, there they are. The In Colour Shimmer Gems, which are on Last Chance and reduced, so good time to get them. Let's get those out of the way. Put Pretty in Pink on top. So that matches the... I'm apologising if you can hear a barking dog. I think it's my neighbours. They haven't got a dog. They must have a visitor with a dog. And then, last but not least, I'm going to take the dimensionals again and pop him up. I say him, it could always be a her. I don't know, could it be her? Queen Bee. There we go. Okay, and there's card 2. I love that card actually. Quite sweet and simple, but effective. So card 2 is done. And then the third one is another fancy fold. But this is a fancy fold using the actual hexagon. So let me show you my original. And I originally did this as a birthday card for one of my husband's carers using the Countryside Inn paper, which has retired. It had a lot of boho blue in it. And it's an easel card in the shape of a hexagon, and it stands up like that. So again, I've used the designer series paper, and this is actually using two-tone cardstock. So slightly different. There you go. So I'm going to show you how to make that. So the way you do that, you need quite a bit of die cutting. So I took the two-tone, I'm not sure if it's Pretty in Pink. I think it might be Bubble Bath. I've got some black on this. Don't know how. It's not going to show anyway. And basically, let me get my dies to show you how to do this. Let me just put the stamps away so I don't lose them. Oh, I haven't cleaned that one. Making sure it's clean. I think my chamois needs a clean. Okay. Let's put that face back. So taking the hexagon dies, just going to work out which one it is. I think it's this one. No, it's not. Okay, it's the second largest. I can get it out. Second largest. Yes. Okay, so it's the second largest one. And what I've done is I've taken a piece of the two-tone cardstock and I've measured it to about 11 centimeters wide and folded it in half. And then to go through the machine, I've made sure that this bit doesn't go through the machine. So you stop your plate about there, literally there, and then it comes through and it comes out so it's still joined together. Okay, then I've folded this in half, one side, folded it in half, used my bone folder. It's not quite level. Let's just try and see if I can level that up a bit. So this is your base card, okay, and that is your easel effect. And then I've got the largest, I've got two of the largest, and then I've got the same size, this second largest in designer series paper. So one of these, this is Petunia Pop. One of these is going to be, and this is the two-tone cardstock, so you can see it's slightly, let me bring it up, slightly different shades. So it's good. So one of those is going to be the base. So I'm going to pop this. And it doesn't really take very long. You just got to die cut the hexagons and then put them together like we are now. I just saved a bit of time by cutting them in advance because I honestly haven't got any room on my desk. It's ridiculous. There will be an avalanche if I move anything. Okay, so that is going to go on there as my base. And it's bubble bath, so it's you can write your message in there. You don't need to put any extra white on. Okay, and then I'm going to put my designer series paper onto my top part. Okay. It's really pretty, this paper. I thought it was pretty in pink, but it's bubble bath. And Pool Party and Petunia Pop and Old Olive. Really pretty. Okay, so that's pretty even, I think. Yeah, seem to have got all the bits. I thought I might need these two, but they seem to be spares, but that's okay. I can use them. Okay, now to then get my final easel, I'm going to pop this on here, but I'm only going to put it on the bottom part. So where I'm going to put my glue is on here rather than on there. And then I can line it up with the bottom. And get it straight. Just got a bit of glue there. Okay. Whoops, a daisy. Told you it was going to be an avalanche. Okay, so there's your easel base card, and then we need to decorate, and then this happy birthday strip is what's holding up the easel. Okay, so I've already stamped happy birthday and lined it up. You saw me do that on the other card. And then again, it's two-tone, so I'm going to do the darker side. I just need to get rid of these edges. Move that up a bit. And then just trim that. There we go. Perfect. Ooh, let's get that there. Okay, so that needs to go on with dimensionals because it's going to be your barrier. And then I've got my little bee. I haven't got a face again. I'm going to need to stamp the face. I've got some Secret Sea wings and Secret Sea antennae. So I just need to and I'm going to have to stamp the face again. I forgot about that. Should we have one with a wink? I'm sure there's one with a wink. Yeah. One with a wink. What's that one? I think. There we go. It's the problem, they're so small you could easily lose them, so I'm just going to pop it back. And then I won't lose it. There we go. Okay, so, and then I've got some pool party flowers. How many have I got? Need an odd number. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got ink on my hands. On my thumb. I don't know how I get it on my thumb. That needs a good wash. Right, I'm going to use glue dots again. He's going to go on with dimensionals. So let me just pop these flowers on. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing them all this side because the bee is going to go on that side. 5. Okay. And then I used Petunia Pop last time, but I'm not sure though. I think I'll use the pink this time, and I think I'll use the smaller ones. Or maybe the peach pie, actually. Let's try that. There we go. And now I just need to pop my B on with dimensionals. And there. Oh, that's what the two were for. Never mind, I've used them there now. Okay, and then this needs to go on with a strip. So the edges of these dimensionals are brilliant for things like this. There we go. So it's going to sit. And try and do it straight up there. And there we go. So that's, I used the two down there, and then this time I've used them all up there. But you've got plenty of room to write your message in there. So that's another fun folder. I hope you like those. But it's just to show you how you can use these dies, and you don't necessarily need to get the new stamp set if you've got the old one, or just use these dies. But the hexagons are just such fun, I think. So I hope that. So that's card 3 there, and then this is card 2, and then this is card 1. So I honestly couldn't tell you which one is my favourite. Probably not that one because of the colour. These one has got blues in, so I do like them. But yeah, I'd love to know which one you like, if you like them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, it's the 27th of June today. The sweet sale finishes on the 30th. That's Monday at 11 p.m. our time. So don't miss out if you haven't shopped yet. And yeah, next week is July. Can you believe it? So it's my birthday in July, so watch out for an ordering special to celebrate my birthday. Thanks for watching. I hope you can join me next week.